Today we'll be learning two things in the GCP cloud. First we'll be create a VPC, and second we'll be creating a VM inside a VPC. So let's do that. We'll be doing step by steps. It is very easy to learn. So let's start. First, let's go to the projects and let's create a VPC network. So let's go to the VPC network. So let's create a new VPC. So let's name it tutorial 1. You can provide the descriptions. So let's at the descriptions. Subnet. So we are going to use a custom subnet name. So let's keep the region Asia US Central 1. That's 24. Okay. So let's create one more subnet. So it is subnet 1. Subnet 1 we have created. Let's create one more subnet, and that is subnet 2. Let's keep it 172.2.0/24. Here we do not have to create the whole range like we do in AWS. Like we define a CIDR. So CIDR, and inside the CIDR we create subnets. So that is not so that is we don't have to do that in GCP cloud. We can enable the private access for this subnet. What happens, what when we do this, click this private Google access, we'll be able to access the Google services like Google Storage, Cloud SQL. We can able to access it privately. So it is good to enable it. And the flow logs, we need to enable these flow logs. So whenever there is an issue, we can debug it easily from the logs by viewing the logs. So everything will be at the subnet level will be captured in the string driver. Dynamic routing mode regional, let's keep it regional. DNS policy, there is no DNS policy, and let's create it. So we have successfully now we are creating the VPC. There is no any error as of now, and I hope there will be no error. Once we created the VPC, will be creating an instance. So we have successfully created the VPC. Now let's create instance inside this VPC. So we'll be creating instance inside this VPC. So let's create. We'll click here. You can name it tutorial instance 1, it is US Central 1. We have created the VPC in the US Central 1, and the zone, let's keep it US Central 1A. Instance type, let's create N1. N1 is small instance, and we use the OS type. We can use whatever OS type we want, and but now we'll be choosing Ubuntu. Let's choose Ubuntu, and the Ubuntu 16 is fine. Disk, let's keep its default disk size 10 GB, and do select. Now we will go this main uh, properties of this instance, like disk and networking. So in disk, let it keep is the default disk. If you want to add more disk, you can add here. Let's keep it default. Networking, this is the main part where we have to define what the VPC and the net subnet. So we have created tutorial what VPC and uh, and the subnet. So subnet will keep this only, uh, and primarily let's we can at the reserve internal IP, or we can keep it automatic, so it will automatically select one IP from this range, from this subnet range. External IP, let's enable external IP here. It is not required if we have VPN, or we have, if we have one already jump server, to use this external IP, or if you don't want to expose these servers to the internet. But here we'll be accessing through the public IP, so let keeps it as it is. Okay, so now let's create the instance. One more thing is there, security. Yeah, security, we have to add one SSH key so that we can access it through the putty. So let's generate a SSH key. uh, SSH key, for SSH key we'll have the software puttygen. So by this puttygen we can generate a key. So let's generate key, just drag this mouse, you click generate and drag this mouse. Let's, in the comment we'll put tutorial 1. So this will be the user uh, by which we log into the instance which we are going to create. So let's save the private key. Let's, this name is tutorial 1 key. Okay, and save it, and we need to copy this to here. So now let's click instance is getting created. So instance got created. So now we'll try to log in this instance. So we cannot log into the with the private IP directly. For that we need to either create a VPN, but we can log in directly to through this public IP. But before that we have to allow to access 22 port. We need to access this. So what we'll do, we have to create a access rule, network access rule. So what we'll do, we'll go to the firewall. We'll go to the firewall part. Firewall, it's a firewall. We'll create one rule, and that we need to tag that rule to that server instance which we have created. So let's create a firewall rule. So we will name it tutorial sh access. Network we have to choose here. It's a tutorial one. Ingress, it should be an ingress rule only. Specified tag, we'll name the tag, given tag, and we'll provide the access from 0.0.0.0/0, and will be along 22 port 22. Also, let's 22. Let's copy this tag name. So actually, this tag name. Okay, let's copy this tag name and then create. You have to add this tag to the instance to access it. If you try to access now, you will not able to access because the access rule we haven't defined, and in GCP it is defined through the tags. First you have to create the firewall rule with the name tag, and you have to add this and add the tag in the instance. So you have added the tag now, and we will be trying to access the server. So let's access it. Have to go to auths, browse that key which we have created. We had created, so it is tutorial 1 key. So it's the name we have given in the comment, tutorial 1. Yeah, we are able to log in. Let's do apt get update. What we'll do now is let's install one service, Apache service, and try to browse. The get install httpd. Okay, I think httpd is not supported here. We'll install Nginx. Install Nginx. So and let's insert Nginx. Okay. Service Nginx. So we have started the Nginx, and let's browse. Okay, we are not able to access because we haven't created access rule for this Nginx port, Nginx active port. Nginx by default it runs an active port. So what we have to do, like we have created a rule, tag rule, to access SSH, to do SSH. Like you can see here, we had created a tag tutorial SSH access. Similarly, we have to create one more tag to access the Nginx website, Nginx link on active port. So let's create the access rule. We'll have go to the firewall. Let's create tutorial1 http access. Okay, so network is our tutorial1. Specific is a tag we can put here. IP range, let's put it 0.0.0.0/0, and TCP 80 port. Again. Okay, so we have now created this access rule. Now we'll add this access rule as a tag, access rule tag in the instance. let's save it, and hopefully now we'll be able to access the Nginx default page. So once this is done, we are saving it. Once this is done, we can try. Now it's still saving. uh, so it's done. So now we'll try to access the URL. Yeah, we are able to access the default page of Nginx. That's great.